The secret of mind over matter was known 18 years before the first atomic blast at Trinity Site, New Mexico, July 22nd, 1945.
Hear that again.
18 of all matter, Max Planck, the father of quantum physics. The secret of mind over matter was known 18 years before the first atomic blast at Trinity Site, New Mexico, July 22nd, 1945.
So the secret of mind over matter was known
18 years before that atomic blast.
They knew what your ass could do 18 years before that. Why you start developing bullshit ass weapons? Why you think? Hold on, here we go.
Our current science cannot handle consciousness. Although some people like to say quantum physics can explain consciousness, the fact of the matter is that physics cannot deal with an experiment where a human being is involved in the loop. This goes back to the way quantum physics was originally built back in the 19-teens and 20s and 30s. Whenever there's a conscious observer present, he causes a collapse of the wave function. Now, the wave function is a mathematical construct that describes the waviness of probabilities of events at the quantum level. And quantum physics is a set of equations that describe how this wave function behaves. When an observer looks at an experiment, he causes a collapse of this wave function. He destroys information. He basically starts the wave function from zero, and things have to start up again. So an observer right now has a chaotic effect in trying to describe or explain what goes on when a person is in the loop. Our physics right now is incomplete. We cannot deal with a consciousness affecting other physical objects in an experiment. We just don't know how to deal with it. So what you find is that most physics experiments keep observers out of the loop. They'll put a scientist outside the box. He gets to look in maybe at the end to see what the results were. But because his consciousness collapses the wave function, they don't let him in. It's like a bull in a china shop. He messes up their predictions, and they don't know how to deal with it.
Did you hear? Do you understand what he just said?
Yeah, he's basically saying that your mind, it could. I know what he's saying. I just lost my train of thought. It basically goes back to how important your what you're thinking is. You think your reality. So he was giving an example about the scientist. He was basically saying certain people think that some experiments are going to fail and some are going to succeed. And he said, depending on the person, it may mess up the whole outcome of the experiment because of what they're feeling.
So in essence, what are they saying? Scientifically, what have they been saying? They're saying something that the ancients have been saying since the beginning of consciousness. Or
first principle.
Huh?
The first principle, mind is all. So if you think about it, you create what you want to bring.
Wait. Don't be trying to pull Kabayan up in here, all slide it up in here, talking about the first principle with slide up in here with the Kabayan first principles, man. Get up out of here.
Hey,
Basically,
I just said what they came to, because they talk about the first one's the most important one. If you think about it, it's true.
That's right.
It was like the placebo.
But everybody doesn't know. Everybody else may not have all the universal principles.
Well, I don't say I ain't got all the way through, but I feel like I understand it a little bit better.
No, not even all the way through. I'm just saying I'm not sure that everybody in here has even seen them or been introduced. But you know that the first law of the universe is all is mind. These are the 7 laws, the 7 principles of Hermes. I mentioned that you guys should look these up. We're going to do a class on it, but we need to get.
If the person, bro, you just go online and listen. Like I'll suggest this: just go online and listen to it. If you can't pay for the book right now, just go online, listen to it while you're driving in the car or something like that. Then eventually get the book.
Right. However, having said that, I don't necessarily suggest that you listen to anybody else's. always remember, you are God. And whenever you get information, you're going to get information that is distorted by the perception of the person giving the information, because they're going to give it to you how they got it and how they used it and their perception on it. So which is why I don't necessarily usually liking to get information from people, or I don't like reading someone's book all the way through on a certain subject, because that's going to be mostly their perception on it. I read 5 and 6 books at a time. So I'll dip and boom, I'm going over here along with the 5 and 6 books. I'm also about 5 and 6 videos. So that's just how I learn. I'm not telling you guys how to do that. But
I got what you're saying, Ken. That makes sense.
So, right. So when you're listening to somebody else, they're gonna like there's a lot of people who feel that they understand the 7 laws of the universe, and they're gonna give them to you how they've used them in their life and how it's helped them, which is fine. That may help you. However, I say get the information first, get the principles down first, and then if you want to delve into how somebody else has used those principles and how it's helped them, then fine. But don't let anybody else's consciousness color your perception of information first. Always you get the information first, and then you can add to it. You can sauce it up. But right, so back to this. So he's right. So the first principle in the universe in the Kabbalion is all is mind, right? The universe is a mental creation of the all. Like there's one giant mind in the universe, and we're all within that mind. So, but right here, so he's saying that when they're on the experiments, he was saying the professor or whoever he is, the scientist, he was saying that when they go in, based on what the scientist believes, they're all affecting the experiment. So there's an ancient saying, simple saying, for what he's saying right now, for what the science is proving in the lab. What is that saying? You can say it in a different way. You don't have to say the exact same, but what are they saying right now? What are they basically saying? Consciousness and matter. What are they saying?
As above, so below?
Not necessarily.
Mind over matter.
Mind over matter, or
matter over mind.
Oh no, not matter over mind. He's on the right plane, but it's not necessarily mind over matter. It's what?
Mind is matter.
The frequency.
Everything is connected.
Mind and matter. Again, everything is created within the consciousness, within the mental consciousness. So mind is over matter, but matter comes from mind, so they're connected. So that's why the simple term is your consciousness creates your reality, right? So it goes back to Buddha. The mind is everything. What you think, you'll become.
So as a man thinketh.
Right. So as a man thinketh, you know what I'm saying? The thinker will, as the thinker thinks, the prover will prove. All these different things, right? So it is your consciousness. That's why a lot of people who believe in racism, you know what I'm saying, they'll see racism all the time when they go out there. But then you have some other people who don't necessarily see racism. They don't recognize it at all.